This podcast is there to serve because I thought it's smart, just work and make money. But in the end, I spent the money on the weekends when we went partying. If you put something in your mind, you can actually achieve it. To say it's personal growth. There was the enough is enough moment. Kind of getting emotional right now, crazy. Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Unbreakable Mind podcast. I'm actually super excited. My name is Jonathan Zwickler. And this is the first time for me. Funny enough, and to be honest, this podcast I actually pushed forward at least for 1 or 2 years. But if I learned one thing over the last years of personal development, business, and growing as a person, is that there is never the right time. So that's why I took the decision now to just go for it, right? I'm not too much prepared for it because I just want to be the raw version of myself, to be honest. And I have a vision and a mission actually to serve others, to actually leave always with an impression of increase. My number one mentor, Bob Proctor, always spoke about leave a impression of increase. So this podcast is there to serve. It's not just me talking to you and speak about specific topics. No, it's actually to give you a lot of value, to learn together, kind of give you an insight of, the things that I personally learn. So yeah, I'm super excited for this, and I'm super grateful that you are actually part of the podcast and that you take your time to listen, because I think time is the most valuable asset that we as a human being have. So thank you already in the first episode that you're part of it. And again, I'm super excited for everything what comes. And today I don't really want to take too much time, to be honest, because it's the intro. And still, I know that many of you guys, maybe not at the first day when I launched this podcast, but maybe later on, you're watching or listening to this on Spotify or YouTube, and you don't really know who I am, what's my background. And I really want to give you an insight why I actually started this podcast. So again, I don't want to talk too much about myself, but I wanted to give you a brief introduction. Again, why I started this podcast and who I am and where was my turning point to actually jump into personal growth, personal development, and actually starting to grow as a person. So I tell you already before, I'm a normal guy. I'm not different to you. My background is actually sports. So when I was younger, I was playing football semi-professionally until under 19 Bundesliga for the guys under us. You maybe know. But even before, I am a child of I'm a child of two parents that divorced when I was 6 years old, and I'm always grateful for my childhood, to be honest. I'm not saying I had a hard childhood or something like that, just to put a story up, because I really had a great childhood. I had healthy parents that were there for me. But actually the most impact had my mom on me, right? My mom is my number one inspiration, to be honest, because when my parents divorced, it was kind of, was not the nicest way. Let's say it like this. I don't want to focus too much on that. Everything good. But I had to be a person at home because I have a little sister that is kind of like a dad, right? That is kind of like the man in the house with very young age. I was 6-7 years young. And my mom actually didn't have financial support. So she was working, not in a job. She actually did go for her own business. She was, doing late night meetings. She was out of home. So somebody, took care of my sister and me. And that I didn't realize it until I don't even know what age, but of course that has a positive impact if, you see your mom actually working for you. We never had a lot of money or something like that. Later on, she was very successful. So then we actually had money, but I was growing up with not much money at home, but my mom always gave us everything. So that already inspired me a lot, but I wouldn't say that this is my turning point where I started with personal growth. But actually, if I think about it, I already started there because I learned so much, right? But again, I was very passionate about football. I was, of course, going to school. I did my high school degree. I never was really invested in school, to be honest. So my grades were not really decent. I went through it, minimum effort, let's be honest. But it's not because I wasn't smart, but I was just lazy. I didn't think school is worth it. So I was more focusing on sports because I wanted to be a professional footballer. So but when I was 19, I was playing under 19, and I always was very passionate about football in general, right? And I really learned if you do something with passion, it doesn't feel like work. It's just fun, right? It's just amazing. It not just goes for your hobby, of course, but also for your job, your business, your kind of way of studies, for example, as well. It's always more fun if you actually enjoy what you do. And there was a point in the last year before, where I kind of quit football, where I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I didn't have passion anymore because I felt like the team was not a team anymore. So I decided to only focus on school. But I was in a loophole, actually. Like, I was lost. To be honest, I was just lost. I think that's the perfect way to describe it, because I started to work in a bar. It was kind of fun, but in the end, like, I was working late. I was waking up very late. Then I went to the job again. And because I thought it's smart, to just work and make money. But in the end, I spent the money on the weekends when we went partying. So yeah, that was not really worth it. But maybe you can relate. There was I was sick and tired of being sick and tired moment. This enough is enough moment. Maybe you had this already. Maybe you're like, maybe I should think about this sentence, because I had it, right? So I was like, okay, I was scrolling through Instagram. I really remembered. I don't know anymore which person that says or said in this video, but this person said, in order to grow, you need to step out of your comfort zone. And it's such a basic sentence if you're already invested into personal growth, right? But it really hit me hard. I was like, okay, well, I'm not growing right now. I'm not really growing. I'm not learning anything. I'm just making money and I spend it again. So I was like, I need to get my shit together, kind of. So I was thinking about the worst thing ever I could think about. I mean, now you maybe say, oh my God, he's so over dramatic, but I'm like, okay, I couldn't speak any word English. Like, really, I was so bad in English. So I was like, okay, I need to go to a country where I have to speak English. And then I was like, okay, I never traveled alone, and definitely also never far away. I was, in Europe, but never really far away. So I was like, okay, I go to Canada, because Canada was not like, actually my dad knows a person there too. So I was like, okay, let's go to Canada. And I was like in a family, right, that only spoke English, was going to a school for I think 4 months. And I actually told myself one thing. I was like, hey, you're going alone. You cannot speak any word English. You will be the best person that graduates from this school, because it was kind of like a program. It was not actually a school. It was kind of, I wouldn't say it's a private school, but we paid for it, of course. So people from Japan, from Brazil, from me, I was from Germany, from Poland, like very amazing individuals that had the same thing. They wanted to learn English. And they had a really nice approach, actually. Shout out to Ken, my brother, if you listen to it, and Amalia and Anna. They really taught me a lot there, not just speaking English, but actually, how to be a nice human being. Let's say it like this. So shout out if you guys are listening. I'm really grateful for you. Yeah, I put myself, because I know it from football. I always wanted to win. I always had this winner mentality. I always wanted to win. I was so angry when we lost. Some people said it was very negative. I thought it was really good. So I was like, hey, I put this in my mind that I can go out of the school after 4 months with the highest degree. So business English, So this is like the quality of English that you need in order to actually work, right? Actually work and use it in business language. 4 months later, I actually got the certificate. I don't have it with me right now, but this was the turning point when it comes to personal development. I haven't started any business, but this was the time where I actually recognized, okay, damn, if you put something in your mind, you can actually achieve it, right? And from there on, I was like, I can do anything what I want. It was developing, of course, this belief in myself and the belief of me achieving whatever I want. I have my times, where I doubt. That's completely normal. But I always remember this again. So this was my turning point, and that's why I'm sitting here right now starting this podcast, because I want you guys to have this moment as well. Maybe you guys are already in person development, you're at a specific level, but you need some inspiration. That's why I started this podcast, honestly, so yeah, that's basically how I got into personal development. And my mission on this podcast is to leave an impression of increase, right? How Bob Proctor always said, leave every person that you come in contact with a level of increase, like an impression of increase, right? And I feel like I need to serve. I had this voice in my head that I need to serve, and I need to give people the chance that I'm maybe exactly at this point where they felt lost, running in circles, and giving them the chance to have inspiration. Because again, it can be my podcast, it can be YouTube video, an Instagram reel, or a person that you have a conversation with. But in case you are listening to my podcast, I want you guys to know I believe in you. I believe in you, and I want to give you the highest possible impact that you could get from me. I don't want to waste your time, because time is the most valuable asset that we as human beings have. So I appreciate that you invested in me, and it doesn't matter where you listen right now or in general. If you're, in the bathroom right now, making yourself ready for your amazing day, if you're driving to your job, to your business, or wherever you are, doesn't matter what you're doing right now. I want you guys to know I believe in you, and that you guys can achieve anything that you want. So how often do I post, or often do I publish this podcast? Like, the frequency is for now once a week. Every Sunday, 1 p.m., I will post this podcast on YouTube and Spotify. So you can, of course, see me if you want to, but you can also just listen to me if you guys want, right? And I will do a lot of single version podcasts. So I speak to you. I want you guys to actually be part of my learnings. I'm doing personal development on a daily basis. I'm growing in different areas, because I'm really a fan of growing in different areas, not just business, not just money mindset, but also spirituality, like coming closer to God, having faith, whatever you believe in the end, belief is very, very important. Faith is very important. Doesn't matter in what God you believe, what religion you have, if you're religious or not, doesn't matter, right? I am religious. I have faith in God, so I will also give you some input when it comes to this, but also to say it's personal growth, entrepreneurship, right? These kind of topics I want to cover, and I actually also want to collaborate on this podcast, meaning I want to invite amazing individuals that know stuff better than me, that are experts in fields where I am not an expert in right now, and I also want to learn from them. Right? So if you, for example, think you have a skill set, or you have a lot of knowledge around a specific topic or area, reach out to me on my Instagram. I will put it down below in the description. You can reach out to me. If you know me already, of course, you can reach out wherever you guys have access to me. And we can set up a podcast together and speak about, whatever you want to give out to the world. Because again, I think collaboration is key. Having a big ego, a negative ego, and thinking you're already the best and you don't need to learn, is just, it's a sign of you not being open, to actually be the best version of yourself. Because again, you cannot be the expert in everything, and you never outlearn. You're always learning until you die. You always have something to learn. So that's why I want to collaborate and give you guys access to individuals that you maybe don't know and you wouldn't get access to if you wouldn't listen to my podcast. So that is really my intention of this podcast. And with that being said, again, I think I just wanted to speak about the intention of the podcast, the frequency, how often we hear each other, and of course a little bit about myself, but not too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. I kindly invite you to share this on your social media if you want to, or share with an individual that you think will get something good out of this podcast. I will post it on YouTube and Spotify again every Sunday. So if you guys enjoyed it, feel free to give me a review as a comment. a repost, a direct message to me as well, how you like it. If you like my podcast voice, doesn't matter what kind of feedback you want to give me. I would highly appreciate if you share it so we can grow together and more people get access to what I'm actually doing here. With that being said, I highly appreciate you guys. I'm really looking forward to everything what comes. I'm super excited. I have already some amazing speakers, most likely, that going to join this podcast. And of course, I have some amazing topics that you guys definitely will learn a lot from. And I just look forward to build a community of like-minded people that just want to grow as a person together and not just alone. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you, and we see each other next Sunday at 1 p.m. Thank you so much.